The sky over the Deathworld Council turned black dot, not from clouds, not from smoke, but from ships. Hundreds of alien warships broke through the silent vacuum of space and hovered above the Council's sky dome. They didn't come one by one. They came all at once, like a swarm of predators, silent, heavy, and terrifying. The Deathworld Council had existed for centuries, built deep inside a hollow planet, hidden from all charts, protected by laws and by fear. Only the most dangerous species of the galaxy were allowed to be there. It was not a place for trade, not for politics. It was a place of survival, of balance. A cold agreement between killers, and someone had just broken that balance. Inside the council chamber, the air grew tense. Dozens of alien races stood from their long stone seats, their claws, scales, tentacles twitching in alarm. No signals, hissed the Exaran diplomat, eyes glowing yellow. They are not responding to hails. Who called them? Barked the Threxian leader, slamming his armored fist down. No race is allowed to bring fleets here. The walls began to shake as the ships descended further. Metal groaned overhead. Defense systems lit up red, then went dark. Every auto turret, every shield offline. Cut by an invisible hand, panic began to spread. And yet, one being remained. Calm. Commander Elise Rowe, the only human in the room. She stood with her arms behind her back, cold eyes, no armor, no weapons. She simply watched. A deep voice echoed across the chamber as a new presence entered the hall. A tall alien 8 feet high stepped forward, flanked by elite guards in black battlesuits. His skin was deep purple, almost metallic. His eyes burned orange. And his voice boomed like thunder. I am General Varkel of the Varnak Dominion. We did not come for peace. The room fell into silence. Some species gasped, some growled. Some reached for hidden weapons. You dare speak of war in this place? Growled the Crozul Queen. This is the Deathworld Council. You don't bring war here, you bring respect. General Varkel stepped forward, ignoring her. His gaze landed on Elise. You, human. His tone dripped with mockery. You sit among titans. But you are soft, weak. Your world, Earth, has been lucky, nothing more. Elise didn't blink. She didn't speak. She only raised one eyebrow. Varkel sneered. Your planet guards secrets. Your machines move in ways we can't track. Your soldiers vanish from battle without sound. We believe Earth holds weapons not shared with the Council. The chamber murmured. Some nodded in agreement. Others looked at Elise with new caution. We demand Earth's arsenal, Varkel said coldly, or we take it. Elise finally spoke. Her voice was soft, controlled, almost bored. You brought your whole fleet here, just for that? Varkel laughed. A cruel, booming laugh that echoed off the black stone walls. Your world isn't special. You've only won battles because others underestimated you. That ends now. Behind Elise, a second human stood. He wore a simple jacket, sleeves rolled up. He looked like a worker, quiet, average, but his name was Jax Marrow, and even the walls seemed to lean away from him. He cracked his knuckles once. Loud in the silence, the Council's elder speaker, an ancient being with gray crystal skin, rose. This place holds the most dangerous minds in the galaxy, not the most foolish. You cannot threaten a member world. Not here. Not ever. Varkel didn't care. We do not recognize Earth's seat on this council. We will vote now to remove them. The elder frowned. This is not how we do things. But others in the chamber were beginning to shift. Some looked uncertain, others afraid. Earth was strong but new. The Varnak had history, power, and allies. Elise could feel it. The room turning, she gave a small nod. Jack stepped forward. If you want Earth removed, Elise said slowly. Perhaps we settle this the old way. Varkel grinned. You challenge me? No, Elise said. She turned and gestured to Jocks. He will. The chamber gasped. One man? Against a Varnak warrior? Varkel roared with laughter. Fine. The Hall of Iron. Combat trial. No armor, no weapons. Elise simply nodded. We accept. The Hall of Iron. It was a cold, silent arena carved into the side of the council's underground mountain. No lights, no shadows. Just pure gray stone and old blood stains. Varkel removed his armor. His muscles rippled, skin like armored plating. Jax stepped into the circle in his plain clothes. No armor. No fear. Varkel charged first, roaring, but Jax didn't move. He stood perfectly still. Varkel swung a blow that could crush steel. Jax tilted his head slightly. The punch missed by an inch. Then, in a blink, Jax moved. His fist touched Varkel's ribs just once. A quiet crack echoed across the chamber. Varkel stumbled, confused. He looked down. His side was caved in. He tried to lift his arm, but it didn't respond. His legs bent the wrong way. He dropped, hard. No one made a sound. Jock stepped back. I didn't hit hard, he said quietly. You're just not built to bend. The healer drones rushed in. Varkel groaned in pain, eyes wide in terror. He was not just beaten. He was broken. Back in the council chamber, Elise sat calmly as murmurs echoed through the room. They sent. Just one. He wasn't even sweating. Did you see the way he moved? General Varkel was carried away, unconscious. His guards didn't speak. Elise stood. I ask again, she said. Does the Varnak Empire wish to speak? Or keep? Shouting, the Krozl Queen stepped forward. Earth has earned its seat. No further vote is needed. The elder nodded, agreed. Earth remains. Elise gave a small smile, but inside her mind, she was already thinking 10 steps ahead. The Varnak hadn't come for peace, but Earth had never believed in peace. Either they believed in something stronger. Silence. That made enemies disappear. Final scene. Later that night, Elise stood alone, looking at the stars above the Deathworld Council Dome. Jock stood beside her. You think that was the end of it? He asked. She shook her head. No, that was just the first move. They'll be back, stronger, angrier. He looked at her. And us? She turned. Her eyes were sharp, cold. We'll be ready. And this time, we won't just defend. We'll teach them what war really means. The stars above flickered. Somewhere far away, Earth's fleet stirred in silence. They weren't just ready for war. They were waiting. The hall was still cold from the last fight. The stone floor still had the mark where General Varkel had fallen. But now, the whispers had changed. No one talked loudly. No one laughed. They only stared at the human. Commander Elise Rowe walked calmly through the main corridor of the Deathworld Council. Her boots clicked softly. Her face was unreadable. Around her, species from across the galaxy stepped aside, some with respect, some with fear, and some with quiet rage. One of those watching was Ambassador Rizik, a sharp-clawed, tall being from the Drask Alliance. His skin was dry and silver, like old metal. His tongue flicked as he spoke to his aides. She doesn't belong here, he hissed. Earth is too young, too loud. They act like they earned this seat. His aide nodded. The Varnak tried to remove them. They failed. Rizek's eyes narrowed. Then we try another way. We don't fight them. We break their image. The council gathering room. The next meeting began under the tall black dome. Dozens of alien leaders took their places. Each sat on curved stone thrones, shaped to fit their species. Some seats were glowing, some breathing, some even twitching. Elise walked in without fanfare. She sat at the last chair, Earth's seat, carved into plain gray stone. No lights, no crown. Just solid and silent. Jock stood behind her as always, still in simple clothes. Still calm. The elder speaker stood, his crystal body humming. Council members. After the Varnak incident, we must now return to our purpose. Unity among the Deathworlds. Strength through silence, peace through shared power. Ambassador Rizek rose slowly. With respect, Elder, he began, his voice smooth like oil. Some among us now fear Earth. A quiet chill passed through the hall. Rizek continued. They bring strength, yes, but also fear. They do not share their methods. Their soldiers are not trained like ours. They act differently. Elise didn't react. Rizek took a breath. So I propose a simple test, not of war, not of battle, but of culture. The Elder blinked. Culture? Yes, Rizek smiled. Let every Deathworld nation send one item. A gift, a piece of who they are. Earth too. He smiled wider. Let the galaxy see if Earth has anything to offer. Beyond fists. Elise's quarters, later Elise, sat in her chamber. Walls lined with dark screens and a single table. Jax leaned against the wall, arms crossed. They want to mock us, Jax said. Make Earth look small. Elise nodded. Yes, and we'll let them try. Jax frowned. You're not worried? No, she said. Because we won't send a weapon. We'll send something they've never understood. Jax raised an eyebrow. What? Elise looked at the stars outside. Hope. The gift presentation ceremony, one by one. Species placed their gifts in the center of the hall. The Threxians brought a piece of armor, worn by their first war queen, still stained with alien blood. The Zorak offered a living crystal that screens when held. The Kruzul displayed the skull of a god beast, killed during their moon trials. Each gift showed violence. Power. Pain. Then came Earth's turn. Elise walked forward. Holding a small black box. She placed it in the center and opened. It. Inside was a book, leather-bound. Old, human-made. Ambassador Rizek laughed loud. Cruel. A book? Others joined in. Some chuckled. Some whispered. A few even turned away. What is this, Commander? Rizek mocked. A weapon of boredom? Elise didn't smile. She spoke clearly. This book is called Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl. It belonged to a child who lived during war. She had no powers, no armies. But she believed in kindness, even when her world was burning. The room fell quiet. Elise continued. It's not a weapon, it's a memory. A proof that even in our weakest moment, humans choose to dream. She stepped back. Rizek tried to laugh again, but no one joined him this time. After the ceremony, as the crowd left, two alien diplomats from different species quietly approached Elise. Commander, said the first, a green-skinned athlete. May I borrow the book? Elise nodded, handing over a digital copy. Thank you, said the second diplomat, eyes wet. We lost our children to war too. We just forgot how to remember. Rizek watched from a distance, his face cold. Secret meeting that night. In a hidden room below the council chambers, Rizek met with three others, all from different factions. All with one thing in common. They feared Earth. She's changing the narrative, said one. They're not just feared now, they're admired. Rizek hissed. We need something stronger. Something final. Another alien leaned in. What if we push Earth to reveal its true nature? Start a small incident. Force them to overreact. Rizek nodded. Yes, let them show the monster behind the mask. The sabotage. The plan was simple. A tiny explosion, a false trail. Blame Earth, and the perfect target? The Kruzul Queen's private chamber. A bomb, silent and hidden, placed under her. Sleeping quarters. It would not kill, but it would scare. Wound. Trigger rage. And the evidence? A fake Earth signature. Earth tech. Earth code. They planted it carefully. The blast had happened just before dawn. A low rumble. A scream. Sirens echoed across the council's underground halls. Guards ran. Doors slammed shut. The Kruzul Queen survived, but barely. Her tail was gone. Her right arm crushed. She roared in fury. Who did this? Guards rushed in. The sensors pointed to one signal. Earth. The arrest Elise was taken without struggle. She didn't argue. Didn't raise her voice. She simply said, "You're making a mistake." Jax was surrounded. Even he didn't fight. He just whispered, "You better hope she stays calm." Interrogation chamber. Rizek entered. Alone. He sat across from Elise. The lights dimmed. "So," he said, smiling, "Earth shows its true face." Elise looked up, slowly, calm. "You wanted fear, Rizek. Now you'll have it." Rizek leaned back. "You're finished. Even your council friends will leave you." Elise smiled now. "You think we didn't see this coming?" The second that bomb went off, Earth satellites activated. They traced the energy trail, the heat print, the molecules. She placed a small device on the table. A hologram lit up. Rizek froze. It showed him, in the Krosel chamber, planting the bomb. "You forgot one thing," Elise said softly. "We don't guess. We watch." Public reveal. The next day, the entire council gathered. The elder stood in the center. Behind him, screens played the footage. Rizek screamed, "Lies! Earth created that!" The elder shook his head. "Tested, verified, confirmed. Drask Alliance is guilty." Rizek was taken by guards. As he passed Elise, he snarled, "You think you've won?" Elise looked him in the eyes, cold, sharp. "No," she said. "You lost the moment you underestimated our silence." Ending scene. Back in her chamber, Jax handed Elise a cup of warm tea. "Wasn't easy," he said. Elise sipped. "It was necessary." He looked at her. "You didn't fight. You didn't fire. And yet, they're scared again." Elise nodded. "That's Earth's true strength." Fear? The Deathworld Council's chambers were still under repair. Shattered stone, cracked lights, echoes of panic. But the fear didn't come from weapons. It came from Earth. Not because they attacked. Not because they threatened. But because they didn't. They had done nothing, and still, they won. Whispers filled the dark halls of the Council's underground base. They knew about the sabotage. They didn't speak, didn't warn. And yet, they had proof the whole time. For many species. That was the scariest part. Humans didn't act like predators. They acted like hunters with time. Like they knew the enemy would walk into the trap themselves. But even after the arrest of Rizek and the fall of the Drask Alliance, some races still doubted Earth. They didn't trust silence. They trusted strength, and they wanted proof. The Krosel demand combat inside the large oval council chamber. The Krosel queen stood tall, her injured arm now replaced with a silver blade. Her tail was gone, her face stitched. Her voice was rough, cracked from pain. "We thank Earth for exposing the traitor," she said slowly. "But words and proof are not enough. Deathworld laws demand balance." The elder speaker nodded slowly. "You speak of the right of iron?" The queen's voice boomed. "We were harmed. We lost blood. Our tradition says the guilty must offer a champion, a test of strength. Not war. Not revenge, but trial." Eyes turned to Elise. Jax didn't flinch. He already knew. Elise's decision back in Earth's private chamber. Jax paced. "They want blood. Not justice," he said. Elise sat quietly at the edge of the metal table. "Yes," she said. "But we won't give them what they want. We'll give them what they fear." Jax raised an eyebrow. "Me?" Elise looked up. "No, not this time." Jax froze. Elise slowly stood. "I will be Earth's champion." Shock across the council. Announcement stunned everyone. The human commander, the diplomat, the talker, was going to fight. Species across the chamber laughed, scoffed. Some were even insulted. The human sends herself? Is this a joke? She is not even a soldier. She will die before the first blow. The Krosel queen narrowed her eyes. So be it. The right of iron begins at dawn. The arena of blades, a place few had entered. Carved beneath the chamber's foundations, the arena was filled with ancient weapons locked in the stone. Blades hung in air. Spikes circled the outer walls. Red lights shimmered. From the heated ground, the rules were clear: no armor, no weapons, no help, one-on-one, to first blood or surrender. The Kruzzle Queen chose her champion, a beast named Velker, 7 feet tall. 4 arms, skin like living stone. He walked into the arena barefoot, growled, then howled. Elise entered quietly. No suit, no armor, no fear, only a black undersuit, bare hands. Calm steps. The council watched from above, hundreds of species. Hundreds of eyes waiting to see Earth fall. The duel begins. Velker charged like a monster, his 4 fists swung like hammers. The ground cracked with his steps. But Elise didn't move. She didn't step back, didn't flinch. She waited. 1 second. 2. Then, as Velker's punch reached her, she stepped sideways, not fast, not with power, just perfect timing. Velker missed. He turned. Confused. She moved again, dodged, stepped under, tilted her shoulder. Every blow missed her by inches. Whispers above. She's not fighting. She's just moving. She hasn't hit back once. But down in the arena, something was happening. Velker's rage turned to frustration. His arms moved faster, wilder, desperate. But Elise never panicked. She danced. Soft steps, measured breaths. Until Velker slipped. Only a small stumble. A wrong step, but that was enough. Elise stepped in, touched his side. One strike, one palm. Velker froze, then screamed. His shoulder dislocated. Bones shifted. Muscles tore. He fell to his knees. Silence. No one cheered. They didn't know how to. Elise stood calmly, not even breathing hard. Velker groaned. The elder's voice broke the silence. The duel is over. Earth stands. The right is fulfilled. Elise turned and walked out. No bow, no pride. Only silence. The aftermath in the council halls. Species argued again. How did she do it? She didn't even use strength. She was watching, calculating. The elder met Elise later. You did not just win, he said. You taught. You showed something worse than power. Elise looked him in the eyes. I showed them that Earth doesn't need to crush our enemies. We just wait until they lose. Balance. In Earth's chamber, Jax handed Elise a cold drink. You plan this? Elise nodded. They think war is strength. They forgot the deadliest weapon is patience. Jax smiled. You've shaken them again. She looked toward the dark hallways of the council. No, she whispered. I've only started. Final scene. Far away, in a private dark room. A silent transmission played. An alien figure watched the duel footage. It replayed again and again. Not Elise's hit, but her eyes, the way she waited, the way she never broke focus. She's not a fighter, the figure whispered. She's a hunter. The screen blinked. And the message was sent. Earth has more than strength. It has strategy. Prepare accordingly. Far away from the Deathworld Council, something dark began to move. Above Earth's solar system, strange ships appeared, one after another, silent, motionless, watching. At first, they stayed far beyond the orbit of Neptune. But within hours, more came, dozens, then hundreds, then thousands. Ships from all over the galaxy. None bore flags, none sent messages, none fired. They just watched Earth. From the dark, and slowly, the sky above the blue planet began to fill with shadows. Earth High Command orbit. HQ alarms flashed across every major Earth station. General Hayes stood before a long holotable, watching the red dots multiply. They're surrounding the system, he growled. No communication, no orders, no shots fired. Beside him, Admiral Rona whispered, they're not here for battle. They're here to force us to act first. General Hayes nodded. They want us to blink first, so they can say we started. But why? She asked. He turned to her. Because they're afraid of something, or someone. He tapped the screen. A single blue icon blinked in the middle of the Earth Council map. Commander Elise Rowe. Status: Off-world Deathworld. Council, emergency meeting. Panic spread across the chamber. Alien leaders shouted over each other. Claws slammed tables. Wings twitched. Eyes blinked in fear. The humans are preparing their defense grid. They've activated planetary shields. They will fire the first shot. The elder speaker banged his staff. Order! But they didn't stop. The Threxian warlord stood. They refused to communicate. Earth is going dark. Another counselor yelled. They hide something. Their silence is a threat. Only one being remained still. Commander Elise Rowe. She sat in her chair. Calm. Cold. Quiet. Then the Krezl Queen stood. I move for a vote, she hissed. Earth has brought chaos. If they will not explain, we will cut ties. Remove them from this council. Let them stand alone. Tension rises. Whispers followed. Some nodded. Some looked unsure. The elder speaker looked toward Elise. Commander Rowe, your world is surrounded. The council demands answers. Elise slowly stood. She walked to the center of the room. Her boots echoed in the stone. Silence. Then she reached into her jacket and pulled out a small cube. Plain, black, unmarked. She placed it on the stone table. This contains a record, she said simply, of the last time someone surrounded Earth. The room leaned in. The elder pressed the activation crystal. Hologram appeared. It showed a massive alien fleet, far bigger than the one in orbit, now forming around Earth. Then, nothing. Just static. Then flickers. Explosions. Ships breaking apart from the inside. Weapons turning on their own command ships. Vessels colliding, burning, then vanishing without trace. And finally, silence. The video ended with a single line. They came in silence. They left in pieces. And Earth never fired once. Council frozen. No one spoke. Some leaned back in shock. Some narrowed their eyes. A Threxian whispered, "Is this real?" The elder frowned. "I've never seen this record. Where did this happen?" Elise replied coldly, 12 years ago. The Nokari fleet. It tried to force Earth into surrender. We responded with a different method. The Krezl Queen looked sick. But the Nokari were erased. Elise nodded. Completely. Without war. Without trace. They realize a Varnek. Noble growled. How? What did you use? Elise didn't answer. She didn't have to. That was the point. They didn't know. And that's what scared them the most. Vote delayed. The elder finally spoke. This evidence changes things. The Krezl Queen hissed. It proves nothing. They still refuse to answer our calls. The elder replied, they don't need to. Earth has shown that silence is not weakness. It is warning. He looked at the rest of the chamber. No vote today. Not until we understand exactly what we're dealing with. Private discussion. After the meeting later, 2 alien leaders whispered in the dark halls. One from the Gralf Syndicate. One from the Droon Empire. We need to know what Earth used. We can't fight what we don't understand. What if they never used a weapon at all? They looked at each other. Then what did they use? From the shadows a third voice answered, code. They turned to see Jax Mara, Elise's silent bodyguard, standing with arms crossed. You think war is guns and ships, he said quietly. But we stopped building weapons years ago. We build control. Systems, algorithms, AI, things that see 1,000 moves ahead. He took a step forward. You surrounded Earth once before. And your own ships turned on you. Because you forgot. One thing. What? The Gralf leader asked, frozen. Jax leaned close. Your systems were made by humans. You just didn't know it. Back on Earth, global broadcast, the skies were filled with foreign ships. Civilians watched in fear. Cities went silent. Schools closed. Streets emptied, but no Earthship moved. No Earth weapon fired. Instead, a single message broadcast from every screen, across every country, every moon base, every space station. A message from Elise Rowe. She appeared on screen, calm and direct. To the people of Earth, remain calm. This is not war. This is testing. They want to see if we panic. We will not. To the fleets above our sky, you are being watched. You know what happened the last time. Choose wisely. The message ended, and the alien ships did nothing. Silent withdrawal one by one. They began to leave. No signal. No fight. Just quiet retreat. Within 48 hours, every ship outside the solar system had vanished. The stars returned, and Earth never lifted a single weapon. Final scene. Elise and Jox back in the Deathworld council chamber. Jox handed Elise a datapad. They ran. She nodded. They always do when they don't understand something, she said. He smirked. You keep scaring them without firing a shot. Elise looked toward the stars through the high window of the chamber. We don't scare them, Jax. We just remind them. We're the only species that doesn't need war to win. The Deathworld Council chamber was full. Not just with members, but with tension. The seats of the galaxy's most powerful species were taken. Some leaned forward. Some stared coldly. Others simply watched Elise Rowe in silence. No one smiled. No one moved. They were here for one thing, the truth. The elder speaker stood. Commander Elise Rowe. After the incident in Earth's orbit, and the sudden withdrawal of thousands of ships, the Council now demands clarity. He paused, then added carefully, what is Earth hiding? The pressure builds. The Threxian warlord stood. We've seen Earth stop wars without fighting. The Varnic diplomat followed. We've seen enemy ships collapse without warning. The Crozzle Queen hissed. You've never shown us your weapons, your systems, or even your full military fleet. Elise sat still. Her hands were folded. Her expression calm. Then the elder spoke again. Commander Rowe, in the name of unity, we require a demonstration. A controlled test. Something that shows what Earth truly possesses. The room went quiet. Jax, standing behind her, tensed. You sure about this? He whispered. Elise gave the smallest nod. Then stood. We will show you, she said. But not a weapon. The dome below. Hours later, the council gathered in a round underground dome made of black stone and clear glass. It was once used for physics experiments. Now, it would witness something far stranger. Elise entered with a single briefcase. No weapons. No soldiers. Just a simple silver case. She walked to the center. Placed the case down. Opened it. Inside was a small black cube. Smooth. Silent. Unmarked. Is this it? The Threxian asked, confused. Elise spoke softly. This is an Earth device. No weapons. No AI. No explosives. It's called a mirror. The council exchanged confused glances. A mirror? Asked the Crozzle Queen. Elise pressed a button. The cube lit up. A faint blue light hovered above it. Slowly, the room began to shift. The floor trembled gently. The walls blurred. For a moment, even time seemed to stretch. Then it stopped. Nothing had changed visibly. But something had. The elder frowned. What did you just do? Elise replied. We created a copy. The test begins. A hologram lit up beside the cube. It showed the entire council dome, but not from above, from inside. Every being, every move, every breath, not recorded, simulated. This device, Elise explained, builds a real-time mirror of the world around it. Down to the molecule, it watches, remembers, predicts. The Threxian narrowed his eyes. A surveillance machine? Elise smiled. More than that, it doesn't just see what is. It calculates what will happen. She raised her hand and moved her fingers on the hologram. Her simulated version moved a full second before she did that perfectly. Exactly. Shock sets in gasps echoed in the room. How? The elder asked. Elise replied calmly. It calculates millions of timelines per second. It knows what we're going to do. Before we do. The Varnak ambassador growled. Why would you build such a thing? Jox finally spoke. Because Earth doesn't believe in luck. We believe in knowing. In always being one move ahead. The mirror's real purpose. Elise stepped forward. This device was first tested during the siege of Europa. Enemy ships tried to break through our last shield line. They never did. Why not? The Krauzel Queen asked. Because we moved before they moved. Every time. She gestured too. The cube. This is not a weapon. This is how we win before war begins. One species tries to test Ida. Growth warrior growled from his seat. Tricks. This is all trickery. He stepped into the center of the dome, facing Elise. Let's see. Your mirror predict this. Without warning, he lunged. Fast. Deadly. But Elise didn't even blink. Jax moved. He stepped in front of her, caught the Growth midair, twisted, and dropped him gently to the floor. Elise turned to the hologram. The device had shown the entire attack 3 seconds before it began. Council in silence. The elder finally stood. This device, it predicts battle? Elise nodded. It doesn't kill, it doesn't destroy. It simply removes the unknown. The elder stared at her. How many of these does Earth have? She paused. Then answered. Not enough to use. Just enough to scare anyone who thinks they can sneak up on us. Backlash begins after the demonstration. Private meetings broke out. Fast. Angry voices, nervous whispers. They don't need guns. They see our attacks before we even decide them. This is worse than war. It's control. Some council members wanted sanctions. Others wanted Earth banned from all defense discussions. One even suggested destroying the device. But none acted, because every time they thought about it, they wondered, what if Earth already knew? The elder confronts Elise later that night. The elder speaker met with Elise in private. I must admit, he said, your methods are beyond anything we expected. Elise nodded. That's why they're angry. He looked at her. This council was built on strength, on survival, but you've changed the meaning of both. She stepped closer to the window. Stars blinked outside. We didn't come to fight, Elder, she said. We came to make sure no one has to. He studied her for a moment, then asked, and what if someone does? She turned to him. Calm, then we won't fight harder. We'll fight smarter, faster, quieter. Secret message leaked 1 hour later. A secret council transmission leaked to every system in the galaxy. A small video, only 8 seconds long. It showed the Earth mirror cube calculating the path of every council race in the room. Every blink, every step, every breath, predicted perfectly. And one message flashed at the end. You cannot win against what sees the future. Panic spread. Stock markets crashed. Fleets halted movements. Commanders froze. They didn't understand the mirror. And that was the danger. They feared not the weapon, but the unknown. Final scene. Elise and Jox. Elise sat at a long table in the quiet Earth chamber. Jox stood beside her. They're scared again, he said. She nodded. Good, that buys us time. He sat across from her. But time for what? She looked toward the distant stars. To prepare. To build, because we haven't shown them the real secret yet. He frowned. You mean the other system? She smiled. No, she said. I mean the fact that we don't need these machines anymore. Jox froze. She whispered, we've become them. The stars blinked cold and silent over the galaxy. But something was wrong. Very wrong. Earth had gone quiet. No signals. No messages. No response. Not from the space stations. Not from the military. Not from the Council's human representative. Silence so deep, it shook every corner of the galaxy. The first alarm at the Galactic Monitoring Station. Alarms screamed. Red. Commander, Yell ran to the main console. We've lost all contact with Earth. She shouted. Her crew scrambled. They checked the satellites. They pinged the moon bases. They tried every frequency. Nothing. Not a whisper. The Council reacts back at the Deathworld Council. Panic spread like wildfire. The elder speaker slammed his staff down. Earth is silent. Voices rose in fear and anger. Is this a new attack? Are they hiding something? Have they been destroyed? Elise's chair was empty. Jax stood alone in a shadowed corner. Jax's message. Jax moved quickly through the halls. He reached the elder's chamber. I know why Earth went quiet, he said. Elder narrowed his eyes. Tell us. Jax's voice was low, steady. Earth chose silence as a weapon. The meaning of silence. The Council was stunned. Silence? As a weapon? Asked a Varnok diplomat. Yes, Jax replied. They cut all signals, all communication. Not because they were destroyed, but because they wanted the galaxy to panic. The elder stared hard. Why? To remind everyone that Earth controls the narrative. That silence can be louder than war. Fear spreads. News of Earth's silence spread quickly. Trade stopped. Fleets froze. Alliances questioned. Ships hovered outside Earth's orbit, unsure what to do. Leaders debated. Is this a sign of surrender? Or a secret weapon? Inside Earth. The calm before inside Earth's command center. Elise stood before a giant screen. The room was dark except for the stars outside. She looked calm, focused, unshaken. Jax came close. They're scared, he said quietly. She nodded. Good. The hidden message. Suddenly, the screen flickered. A single message appeared. It was short, clear, cold. Earth watches. Prepare. No explanation. No warning. Just the words. The galaxy reacts. The message sent shockwaves. Fleets powered down weapons. Diplomats dropped threats. Wars halted. For a moment, the entire galaxy listened. The secret meeting back in the Council. The leaders gathered. The elder addressed them. Elise's message was a warning. Not a threat, but a promise. Earth is not weak, he said. They control fear itself. The Krauzel Queen clenched her jaw. We underestimated them. Jax's warning. Jax pulled Elise aside. They expect us to fight now, he said. She smiled. Let them try. We're ready. The final scene. As the galaxy waited, Earth remained quiet. Not broken, not silent from fear, but silent because it was the loudest warning of all. 1 hour after Elise's chilling message, a small fleet from the Grulf Syndicate approached Earth's orbit. They were fast, silent, confident. Their weapons were ready to fire. Their leaders believed Earth was weak. Earth's response. But instead of lasers or missiles, Earth's satellites released clouds of tiny drones smaller than a speck of dust. These drones didn't explode. They didn't shoot. They simply watched. The drones power within minutes. The drones swarmed the Gralf fleet. They slipped into engines, cockpits, and weapon controls. Systems began to fail. Ships slowed. Weapons jammed. Confusion spread. Gralf panicked. The Gralf commanders shouted orders. Fight them off. Destroy those drones. But every attempt failed. The drones were everywhere. Invisible. Untouchable. No shots fired in the Council chambers. News arrived. The Gralf fleet is crippled. Without a single shot fired by Earth. The elder speaker looked at Elise. Is this your doing? Elise nodded. The counterattack. Jax explained. These drones don't kill. They control. They disable without destruction. They stop war before it begins. The Council divides. The members argued. Some demanded war. Others feared Earth's power. A vote was called. The vote. Should Earth be expelled from the Council? The elder asked. Voices shouted, "Yes." Voices shouted, "No." In the end, the vote was tied. The elder's vote decided. "No," he said. "Earth stays." The aftermath. Earth's silent war had begun. No explosions. No deaths. Only control. Elise's warning in a private meeting. Elise told the council, "We do not want war. But if forced, we will end it quickly. Without the noise, without the blood." Final scene. Back on Earth. Elise looked at the stars. The galaxy had learned one thing. Earth didn't fight like others. Earth fought smart. And Earth fought quiet. The stars above the galaxy seemed quieter now. Not because of peace, but because no one dared to speak. Not after what happened to the Growth fleet. Not after Earth's response. A response without war, without blood, without a single explosion. Earth had changed the rules, and everyone knew. The next move could be their last. Whispers of the final weapon rumors spread fast. Earth controls machines. No, Earth controls thought. They can break your army without touching it. And one whisper traveled further than the rest. Earth has one more secret, something never used, something never named. They called it the final silence. The emergency meeting. The council gathered one last time, all races, all leaders, even those who once mocked Earth. This time, no one spoke against Elise Rowe. She stood in the center of the grand chamber, alone. No guards, no weapons. Just her presence. The elder speaker rose. "We have seen your drones, your data weapons, your mirror device. But now the galaxy fears something else." His voice cracked slightly. "Is there one final weapon left?" Elise didn't answer right away. Then she looked around the chamber and simply said, "Yes." The room freezes. Jaws tightened. Hearts pounded. Even the Cruzal Queen remained silent. The Threxian warlord finally asked, "What is it?" Elise stepped forward. "It's not a ship, not a drone, not a machine." She looked each of them in the eye. "It's a person." "A person?" Whispers broke out again. "A soldier? A super being? Is it her?" But Elise shook her head. "It's not me. And they've never stepped onto any battlefield." The elder frowned. "Then, who?" Elise answered. "A child." "The galaxy stunned a child?" One leader asked in disbelief. "Yes," Elise replied. "A child born on Earth, connected to everything. Wired into every system, every signal, every satellite." Jock stepped forward. "She doesn't fight with fists. She moves armies with thoughts." The elder whispered, "An AI?" Elise looked at him sharply. "No, not artificial, human, with a brain shaped by Earth systems. Raised by silence. Trained through simulation, she became the network." The final silence revealed. Elise raised a small device. She pressed a button. A blue hologram lit the chamber. A young girl, no more than 12, stood in digital form. Her eyes glowed faintly. She smiled softly. "Hello," she said to the council. "My name is Luma." Gasps filled the room. Luma spoke again, her voice calm. "I see everything. Every ship, every system, every word. I don't want to fight, but I can." She blinked once. "Would you like me to show you what silence really feels like?" Demonstration. Before anyone could answer, the lights in the council hall dimmed. Communication signals dropped. Private devices froze. Translation systems halted. Everyone panicked. Then darkness, only for 6 seconds. Then it all came back. Luma's voice returned. "That is what I can do in 6 seconds." Total fear. The council fell into silence again. Real silence. No one dared speak. No one dared move. Because they realized something. Earth didn't just build a weapon. They raised one. The elder's final words. The elder stood slowly. "We have seen many powers, but none like this." He turned to the chamber. "I move that Earth be granted full status, not as a junior member, not as a probation world, but as an equal. No greater." No more votes, no more resistance. Earth leads. Unanimous, no one objected. Even Earth's enemies stayed silent. One by one. Each council member stood and bowed their head. Outside the council across the galaxy, fleets stood down. Weapons powered off. Wars halted mid-battle. Every commander received the same short message. You may fire first, but you won't fire again. Earth back on Earth, Elise stood with Jax on a mountaintop, watching the sunrise below them. Peaceful cities buzzed. Children laughed. Birds sang. Jax turned to her. So it's over? Elise nodded. Without war, without blood. Jax looked into the golden sky. Because of Luma? She shook her head. No, because they finally listened. He smiled. And what if they forget again? Elise turned toward the horizon. Then Earth will remind them. Final shot. Far across the stars, ships sailed in silence. No alarms. No weapons. Just peace. Because behind every signal, behind every shadow, they all knew Earth was listening. And if Earth ever went silent again, the galaxy wouldn't wait. They would beg for mercy before the silence ended.